All right, so AIM 9.5 should be in your notebooks. You should have the AIM copied down. We just went over some responses to the do now, so away we go. All right, I'll give you a second here. All right, so we're talking about the collapse of the Roman Empire, and basically the idea here is that when the Roman Empire collapses, the stability and order that it provided to society goes away with it, and society becomes kind of dangerous. And the world is a dangerous place to be living in at the time. So the idea behind feudalism is they will adopt this idea from the Franks, but the idea is that powerful lords offer protection in return for service. So lower class people who are worried about living in this dangerous world enter into an agreement with wealthy landowners that say, I will work for you for free. I will, perform agriculture. I will work in trades, whatever the case is, for free. And in return, you provide me with let me come live on your property and provide me with a safe place to stay and keep me safe from this dangerous world that we are all living in. And the wealthy landowners say, okay, deal. And thus is the beginning of feudalism. So that's generally how it works. There's an exchange here. It's service in exchange for protection. That's the general principle. All right, we need some vocab here. All right, so just some vocab to kind of iron out. We're going to use some of these terms as the unit kind of progresses. So we keep using the word noble, but I just want to make it clear that when we say noble, what we really mean is wealthy landowner. We will also use the word vassal. Vassal is any person that is in control of land. Now, nobles are wealthy landowners, so nobles are also vassals, okay? The noble owns the manor on which everyone else lives. And we will get into that in a little while. But a vassal is a person that owns a piece of that land also. This could be a knight also. So, the idea is that each class is doing something for other classes. So knights, for example, the European feudal version of samurai, their job is to protect the manor that everyone is living on and protect the people and protect the noble. So a noble might pay a samurai in the form of land and give him a piece of that land, in which case that samurai, that knight is now also a vassal. So a vassal is kind of a subtitle, if you will. There are nobles and there are knights. Some knights are also vassals that are in control of land, and all nobles are vassals also. So it's kind of a secondary title. Serf is a word that we will use for peasant, and then we will use this word fief, F-I-E-F, to refer to a piece of land that is under the control of a vassal. All right, here's your fancy chart. You don't have to copy everything here, but I would at least draw the pyramid and make note of king, nobles, knights, serfs, etc. Just so you get it down there. I'll give you a second. So, and again, the big reason we use the pyramid shape is because it tells us who sits above who, and it also tells us the proportion of people in society that belong to each class, right? There's only one king, there's a few nobles, there's a lot of knights, and there's tons of peasants, okay? That's how it works. So each class has some responsibility to the class above or below it, and that's the idea behind feudalism. The other idea is, notice these lines between the classes here. This is to denote the idea that you don't move up or down in class. Once you are born into one of these classes as birthright, you remain there for your entire life, never to move. It's very, very hard to move up and down, and we will kind of talk about why that's the case eventually. But we did a very similar chart with Japanese feudalism, right? It was shogun, daimyo, samurai, peasant, right? So same thing. And the only difference was in Japan, we had an emperor that was kind of a useless figurehead who sits outside of this system. So the king is most comparable to the shogun in Japan. And nobles are the same as daimyo, and knights are the same as samurai, and peasants are peasants, right? That's how it